Welcome to Midnight Science Stories. Tonight, we take a gentle journey into one of the most universal human mysteries: happiness. What is happiness, really? Why is it so hard to hold on to sometimes? And why does it come so easily on other days? Tonight, you'll drift through the science, psychology, and inner mechanics of joy, all explained in a slow, relaxing, bedtime-friendly way. So find a comfortable position, take a deep, slow breath, and let's begin. Part 1. The Warmth of Understanding. Close your eyes for a moment and think about a time you felt truly happy. Maybe it was a quiet morning with sunlight streaming through your window, or laughing with someone you love, or the peaceful feeling after a long walk in nature. That feeling, that gentle warmth in your chest, that lightness, it wasn't magic. It was chemistry. Beautiful, elegant chemistry happening inside your brain and body. And tonight, we're going to understand it together. Gently, peacefully. Like we're sitting by a warm fire, talking about the wonders hidden inside you. Because understanding happiness doesn't take it away. It makes it deeper, more accessible, more real. So let your shoulders relax. Let your breathing slow. And let's explore what creates that beautiful feeling you know so well. Happiness has puzzled humanity for thousands of years. Philosophers spent lifetimes contemplating it. Poets tried to capture it in words. Artists painted it. Musicians composed symphonies trying to bottle that feeling. But for most of human history, happiness remained a mystery. Something that came and went like weather, unpredictable, uncontrollable, almost magical. Until recently, in the last few decades, scientists have begun to pull back the curtain. They've looked inside the brain with machines that can watch thoughts happening in real time. They've measured chemicals flowing through your nervous system. They've tracked the pathways of emotion as they light up like rivers of electricity through your mind. And what they've found is breathtaking. Happiness isn't random. It's not magic. It's not a gift given to some people and withheld from others. It's a process, a beautiful, intricate, understandable process. And tonight, you're going to learn that process. So gently, so peacefully, that you'll drift into sleep understanding yourself better than you did when you woke up this morning. Part 2. Your brain's secret garden. Inside your brain right now, there's a secret garden. It's invisible to the eye, but it's always there, always working, always creating the colors and feelings of your emotional life. This garden is tended by for special messengers, for chemicals that travel through your brain and body, creating everything you feel. Scientists call them neurotransmitters and hormones, but we can think of them more simply. They are the 4 seeds of happiness. And tonight, we'll meet each one, slowly, peacefully. So you understand the gentle science of joy. Your brain weighs about 3 pounds. It's made of roughly 86 billion neurons, tiny cells that communicate with each other through electrical signals and chemical messages. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, every memory you cherish, every dream you dream, is created by these neurons talking to each other. And they talk using chemicals. When one neuron wants to send a message to another, it releases a chemical messenger into the tiny gap between them. That chemical floats across the gap, lands on the receiving neuron, and triggers an electrical signal. This happens billions of times per second. Right now, as you listen to these words, it's like an infinite conversation happening inside your skull, in a language of chemistry and electricity, creating the entire universe of your inner experience. And among all these chemical messengers, 4 stand out as the primary architects of happiness. For chemicals that, when present in the right balance, create joy, peace, contentment, and well-being. Let your breathing deepen, and let's meet the first one. Part 3. Dopamine, the spark of wanting. The first chemical is called dopamine. Dopamine is like a gentle spark, a little light that says, go forward, there's something good ahead. It's the feeling of anticipation, of excitement, of looking forward to something. When you're about to see a friend you love, dopamine. When you're unwrapping a gift, dopamine. When you're making progress on something you care about, dopamine. It's not the happiness of having, It's the happiness of approaching, of moving towards something good. Your ancestors needed this chemical to survive. It made them hunt for food, explore new places, seek out connection and safety. Imagine an ancient human, tens of thousands of years ago, walking through a forest. They spot a berry bush in the distance. The moment they see it, before they even taste a single berry, dopamine floods their brain. That surge of dopamine creates motivation, energy, focus, the desire to move toward that berry bush. Without dopamine, they would have simply sat there, unmotivated, uninterested. Eventually, they would have starved. But with dopamine, they felt pulled forward, excited, alive. This is what dopamine does. It doesn't create the pleasure of eating the berries. It creates the pleasure of pursuing the berries. And this distinction is crucial, because in the modern world, we've built entire industries around triggering dopamine without ever delivering the actual reward. Social media is engineered to create dopamine hits. Every time you open the app, you might see something interesting. That might is key. The uncertainty, the anticipation, the possibility. This floods your brain with dopamine. You scroll and scroll and scroll, each swipe promising something good just around the corner. But the satisfaction never comes. Can't. Because the satisfaction doesn't come from dopamine. It comes from a different chemical entirely. Video games do this too. They're designed with dopamine triggers at every level. Points, rewards, achievements, each one releasing a little burst of dopamine that says, keep going, something good is coming. Online shopping, same mechanism. Browsing triggers dopamine. Adding items to your cart triggers dopamine. The anticipation of the package arriving triggers dopamine. But then the package arrives, you open it, and within hours or days the excitement fades. The dopamine is gone, and you're already thinking about the next purchase. This isn't a flaw in you. This is dopamine working exactly as it was designed. It's designed to fade quickly. So you keep seeking, keep pursuing, keep moving forward. In ancient times, this kept you alive. In modern times, it can trap you in endless cycles of craving without satisfaction. But here's the gentle truth you need to hear tonight. Dopamine is not the enemy. It's your friend, your motivator, the spark that makes you want to get out of bed in the morning. The problem isn't dopamine. The problem is that we're triggering it artificially, constantly, with things that don't lead anywhere meaningful. When dopamine is attached to real goals, real relationships, real progress, it's beautiful. When it's attached to infinite feeds and notification bells, it becomes exhausting. So rest easy tonight, knowing that dopamine is your friend, your motivator, your gentle spark. Tomorrow, you can choose to direct it toward things that actually matter. But tonight, just rest. Let the dopamine circuits in your brain settle. Let them quiet. Let them restore. Because when you sleep, your brain is rebalancing everything, resetting, preparing for a new day. And that's exactly what's happening right now. Part 4. Serotonin, the calm beneath everything. Now let your breathing slow even more and meet the second chemical, serotonin. If dopamine is a spark, serotonin is sunlight. Warm, steady, nourishing. Serotonin doesn't make you chase anything. It makes you feel okay, safe, stable, content. It's the feeling of sitting in your favorite chair, knowing everything's all right. It's the feeling of a good night's sleep, or finishing a walk in nature, or the quiet satisfaction of a day well lived. Serotonin says, you're safe, you belong, you're enough. This chemical is so important that most of your body's serotonin, about 90%, isn't even in your brain. It's in your gut, your digestive system, your belly. Ancient wisdom talked about gut feelings and following your gut. And now we know why. Your gut and your brain are in constant communication, sending messages back and forth through serotonin and other chemical signals. This is why when you're anxious, your stomach feels unsettled. Why when you eat well, you feel emotionally better. Why stress can cause digestive problems. Your gut and your brain are one system, connected by serotonin. But let's focus on the serotonin in your brain, because this is where emotional stability lives. When your brain has healthy levels of serotonin, you feel emotionally resilient. You can handle stress. You can bounce back from disappointments. You don't get overwhelmed by small problems. When serotonin is low, everything feels harder. Your patience shrinks. Your anxiety grows. Small setbacks feel catastrophic. You can't shake off bad moods. You feel fragile, like you're barely holding it together. This isn't weakness. This isn't a character flaw. This is chemistry. Low serotonin makes the world feel unsafe. And when your brain thinks you're unsafe, it activates stress responses. Worry, vigilance, the constant feeling that something's wrong. Many people today are walking around with chronically low serotonin. Not because they're broken, but because modern life disrupts almost everything that creates it. Let's talk about what creates serotonin. First, sunlight. When bright light enters your eyes, especially in the morning, it triggers a cascade of events. Your brain begins producing serotonin, real, natural serotonin. This is why people feel better in summer than winter. Why seasonal depression is a real phenomenon. Why spending all day indoors under artificial light leaves you feeling depleted. Your brain is literally starving for sunlight. Second, sleep. Deep, restorative sleep is when your brain rebalances its serotonin system. When you don't sleep well, serotonin production suffers. And when serotonin is low, sleep becomes harder. It's a vicious cycle. But tonight, right now, that cycle is breaking. Because you're resting. You're allowing your brain to do its repair work. Third, movement. Gentle, regular physical activity increases serotonin. Not intense exercise, just movement. Walking, stretching, swimming. Anything that gets your body moving in a rhythmic, sustainable way. Your body was designed to move. And when it doesn't, when you sit for 8, 10, 12 hours a day, serotonin production drops. Fourth, routine and rhythm. Your brain craves predictability. It wants to know that patterns repeat, that meals come at regular times, that sleep happens on a schedule, that there's a rhythm to life. Chaos and unpredictability, even exciting chaos, drain serotonin. Calm, predictable routines, even boring routines, build serotonin. This is why children thrive on routine. Why disrupted schedules make everyone irritable. Why establishing a consistent bedtime, like you're doing right now by listening to this, helps your brain feel safe. Fifth, purpose and meaning. People with a strong sense of purpose have higher baseline serotonin. Not because purpose directly creates the chemical, but because purpose creates consistent behavior, which creates routine, which signals safety to your brain. When you know why you're here, when you feel your life matters, your brain relaxes. It stops constantly scanning for threats. It allows serotonin to flow. And finally, social belonging. Feeling accepted. Feeling like you have a place in the world. Feeling respected and valued. In our evolutionary past, being part of the tribe meant survival. Being rejected meant death. So your brain is constantly monitoring. Do I belong? Am I safe here? Do these people value me? When the answer is yes, serotonin flows. When the answer is no, serotonin drops, and your brain goes into threat mode. This is why loneliness hurts. Why rejection stings. Why social anxiety feels so overwhelming. It's not just emotional. It's chemical. Your brain is detecting a survival threat. But here's what you need to know tonight. You can nurture your serotonin. You can create the conditions that allow it to flourish. And it doesn't require perfection. It doesn't require a complete life overhaul. Just small things, gentle things. Tomorrow, when you wake, open your curtains. Let that morning light touch your face. Your brain will begin making serotonin within seconds. Throughout the day, move your body. Just a little. A walk around the block. Some gentle stretches. Your serotonin will quietly increase. At night, create a routine. The same wind-down ritual. The same bedtime. Like you're doing now. Your brain will learn. This is safe. This pattern repeats. I can relax. And over time, over weeks and months, your baseline serotonin will strengthen. Not all at once, Not dramatically, but steadily, reliably, like the sun rising each morning. So sleep now, knowing that your body is making serotonin right now, restoring balance, healing. Tomorrow will feel a little brighter, not because anything external changed, but because your chemistry is finding its equilibrium again. Part 5. Oxytocin, the glow of connection. Now, let's meet the third chemical, oxytocin. This one is special. Oxytocin is the chemical of love, of trust, of connection. It's the warm glow you feel when someone hugs you, when you look into the eyes of someone you care about, when you laugh with a friend, when you hold a baby or pet a dog. It's the feeling of not being alone. Your body releases oxytocin during moments of closeness. Real, physical, face-to-face closeness. Let me tell you about oxytocin's discovery, because it's a beautiful story. Scientists first identified oxytocin in the early 1900s. They noticed that this chemical caused uterine contractions during childbirth. They named it oxytocin, which means quick birth in Greek. For decades, that's all they thought it did. A chemical that helped mothers give birth. But then they started noticing something strange. After birth, oxytocin levels remained high, not just in the mother, but triggered during breastfeeding, during skin-to-skin contact with the baby, during moments of gentle care. And they noticed something else. This chemical wasn't just in mothers. It was in fathers, in children, in people who had never given birth, in animals forming social bonds. They began to realize oxytocin wasn't just about birth. It was about bonding. They tested it in animals, prairie voles specifically, small rodents that mate for life. When prairie voles mate, their brains flood with oxytocin. And this chemical creates a bond so strong that they remain faithful to their partner for their entire lives. When scientists blocked oxytocin in prairie voles, the animals lost their ability to bond. They mated, but didn't form lasting attachments. When scientists gave oxytocin to naturally solitary vole species, suddenly they started preferring companionship. One chemical, creating the biological foundation of love. Then they tested it in humans. They found that oxytocin rises when mothers nurse their babies, when fathers play with their children, when friends hug, when couples make love, when people make eye contact, when strangers cooperate on a shared task. Even more fascinating, oxytocin makes you trust people more, makes you more generous, more empathetic, more willing to help. It literally changes how you perceive other people. When oxytocin is high, faces look friendlier. Voices sound kinder. You feel safe enough to be vulnerable, to share, to connect. When oxytocin is low, the opposite happens. You feel guarded, suspicious, isolated. Other people feel like threats, not sources of comfort. This chemical is why humans are social creatures. We didn't survive because we were strong. We survived because we took care of each other. A human alone in the wilderness dies quickly. But humans together, humans who trust each other, who cooperate, who share resources, humans who bond, they thrive. Oxytocin is the chemical that made us choose together instead of alone. And it still works the same way today. A long hug, 20 seconds or more, floods both people with oxytocin. Both the hugger and the hugged. It's a shared chemical experience. This is why hugging someone when they're sad actually helps. Not just emotionally, chemically. Eye contact does this too. Real eye contact. Not glancing, but actually looking into someone's eyes for a few seconds. Feels vulnerable, doesn't it? Intense even. That's because it's creating a chemical bond. Your brain is releasing oxytocin. So is theirs. You're literally creating shared biology. Deep conversation creates oxytocin too. The kind where you're really listening, really being heard, where you feel seen and understood. This is why therapy can be so powerful. It's not just talking. It's oxytocin-generating connection with another human being. Even acts of kindness create oxytocin, both in the giver and the receiver, and remarkably, even in people who just witness the kindness. Scientists call this elevation. The warm feeling you get when you see someone being kind. That's oxytocin too. Your body rewards you chemically for connection, for kindness, for love. But here's what you need to understand. You can't get oxytocin from a screen. Texting someone is zero oxytocin. Scrolling through social media, zero oxytocin. Even video calls. They create a tiny bit, but nothing compared to being in the same room. Your body knows the difference. Your body can detect presence. Real, physical, three-dimensional presence. And only real presence triggers the full oxytocin response. This is why Zoom meetings feel exhausting. Why texting feels hollow. Why you can have 1,000 followers and still feel lonely. Because your brain is saying, where are the people? Where is the touch? Where is the eye contact? Where is the physical presence that tells me I'm not alone? Modern life has replaced real connection with digital simulation. And our oxytocin systems are starving. The loneliness epidemic we're experiencing. This isn't a cultural problem or a generational problem. It's a chemical problem. We've removed the very things that create the neurochemistry of connection and replaced them with things that can never trigger it. But here's the hope. Oxytocin is still there, still waiting, still ready to flow. You just need real connection, physical presence, actual touch. Tomorrow, reach out to someone, not through text, in person if you can. Hug someone you trust. Hold the hug longer than feels normal. 20 seconds. Let your body remember what it was designed for. Have a real conversation, face to face. Put your phone away. Look at them. Listen to them. Your oxytocin will bloom like a flower that's finally been watered. And if you can't reach someone tomorrow, if you're alone right now, here's something beautiful. You can trigger oxytocin through self-compassion. Placing your hand on your heart. Speaking kindly to yourself. Treating yourself with the same gentleness you'd offer a friend. This actually works. Your brain doesn't fully distinguish between receiving compassion from others and giving it to yourself. So right now, place your hand on your heart. Feel it beating. Feel the warmth of your own touch. And say to yourself, silently or out loud, you're okay. You're safe. You're not alone. Your brain will respond. Your oxytocin will rise, just a little, because you are being kind to the only person who's been with you your entire life, yourself. Sleep now knowing that connection is your birthright, that your body was designed for love, for trust, for belonging, and tomorrow you'll find a way to connect. Even just for a moment, that moment will be enough. Part 6. Endorphins, the lightness of release. And now, the fourth chemical, endorphins. These are your body's natural painkillers, your built-in source of euphoria. The word endorphin literally means endogenous morphine. Morphine produced by your own body. Your brain makes its own drugs. Isn't that remarkable? Endorphins are released when you push your body, when you laugh deeply, when you stretch, when you breathe fully, even when you cry. They're the runner's high after exercise, the lightness after a good laugh, the calm after you've had a good cry, the relief after stretching tight muscles. Let me tell you how endorphins were discovered. In the 1970s, scientists were studying pain. They knew that morphine, the powerful painkiller derived from poppies, worked by binding to specific receptors in the brain. But they had a question. Why would our brains have receptors for a plant chemical? It didn't make sense evolutionarily. Our ancestors didn't have access to morphine. So why would our brains be designed to receive it? The answer became obvious. Our brains must make their own morphine-like substances. They searched, and they found them. Endorphins. A whole family of chemicals that bind to the same receptors as morphine, creating pain relief and euphoria. But unlike morphine, endorphins are released naturally, in response to specific behaviors. Your ancestors needed endorphins to survive. Imagine you're being chased by a predator. You're running for your life. Your muscles are screaming. Your lungs are burning. You're exhausted. If you felt all that pain at full intensity, you'd stop running. You'd give up. You'd be eaten. But endorphins flood your system during intense physical activity. They mask the pain. They create a sense of euphoria, Even, they keep you going when your body wants to stop. This is the runner's high. This is why, after pushing through the initial discomfort of exercise, you suddenly feel amazing. Your body is literally drugging you to keep you moving. Endorphins are also released during laughter. Real, deep, belly laughter. Why? Because laughter is a social bonding behavior. It evolved to help groups of humans connect, to diffuse tension, to signal safety and playfulness. When you laugh with others, everyone's endorphins rise together. You're creating a shared neurochemical experience that bonds the group. This is why comedy clubs feel so good, why laughing with friends feels so connecting, why even fake laughter, the kind you do in laughter yoga, can actually improve mood. Your body doesn't entirely distinguish between real and simulated laughter. Both trigger endorphin release. Endorphins are also released during crying. Yes, crying. After you've had a good cry, after you've let the tears flow and the sobs shake through you, there's a moment of calm, of lightness, of release. That's endorphins. Your body's way of soothing you after emotional pain. This is why suppressing tears often makes you feel worse. You're blocking a natural healing process. You're stopping your body from giving you the chemical comfort it knows you need. Stretching releases endorphins too. That's why yoga feels so good. Why a deep stretch in the morning makes you feel instantly better. Why cats and dogs stretch constantly throughout the day. Even deep breathing can trigger endorphins. Long, slow, intentional breaths signal to your body that you're safe, and safety allows endorphin release. And here's something fascinating. Endorphins are released during meditation, especially longer meditation sessions. Experienced meditators often report feelings of bliss, of floating, of euphoria. That's not mystical. That's endorphins. Your body is rewarding you for creating internal stillness. But in modern life, most people are endorphin deficient. We don't move enough. We sit for hours and hours. Our bodies never get the signal to release endorphins through physical activity. We don't laugh enough. Life feels serious, stressful, heavy. When's the last time you laughed until your stomach hurt? We don't stretch enough. We hold tension in our bodies all day long. We don't breathe deeply. We take shallow, stressed breaths, barely filling our lungs. And so our endorphin systems lie dormant, unused, like a medicine cabinet full of painkillers that we never open. But they're there, waiting. Tomorrow, move your body. It doesn't have to be intense. A walk is enough. Some gentle yoga, dancing in your kitchen, anything that gets your blood flowing. Within minutes, endorphins will start to rise. You'll feel lighter, more energized, more alive. Tomorrow, find something that makes you laugh. Funny video, a comedy special, a silly conversation with a friend. Let yourself laugh fully, deeply. Don't hold back. Your body will flood with endorphins, and for those moments, everything will feel okay. Tomorrow, a stretch. Really stretch. Hold each stretch for 30 seconds. Breathe into it. Feel the release. Your endorphins will thank you. And tonight, right now, take 10 deep breaths with me. Breathe in slowly through your nose, filling your belly, expanding your chest, filling your lungs completely. Hold for a moment, then exhale slowly through your mouth, letting everything go, releasing all tension. Again, breathe in slowly, deeply, completely. Hold and exhale, long and slow, letting your body soften. Again, in through your nose, filling yourself with breath. Hold and out through your mouth, releasing. Keep breathing like this, slow and deep, in and out. Feel your body relaxing. Feel the subtle shift happening in your chemistry. Endorphins are gently rising. Your nervous system is calming. Your body is remembering what peace feels like. Continue breathing, slow and steady. As we move to the next part of our journey, your endorphins are working now, quietly healing, quietly soothing. You are safe. Part 7. The Orchestra of Emotion. Now you know all four. Dopamine, the spark of anticipation. Serotonin, the calm of safety. Oxytocin, the glow of connection. Endorphins, the lightness of release. Happiness is not one thing. It's all of these playing together like an orchestra. Imagine sitting in a concert hall. The lights dim. The conductor raises their baton. The orchestra begins to play. Sometimes the violins are loudest, creating soaring melodies that make your heart leap. That's dopamine. Sometimes the cellos provide a deep, steady foundation, a warm, grounding resonance. That's serotonin. Sometimes the flutes dance together in harmony, creating something neither could create alone. That's oxytocin. Sometimes the percussion breaks through, sudden, rhythmic, energizing. That's endorphins. A beautiful symphony needs all of these, not playing randomly, but in balance, in harmony, each instrument coming forward when needed, then stepping back to let others shine. Your emotional life is the same. Sometimes you need dopamine's energy to start something new, to chase a goal, to feel excited about possibilities. Sometimes you need serotonin's peace to simply be, to feel stable, to know you're okay. Sometimes you need oxytocin's warmth to feel held, to remember you're not alone, to trust and be trusted. Sometimes you need endorphins' euphoria to feel alive, to laugh, to move, to release. A balanced life has all four, in different measures at different times. But modern life often creates imbalance. Too much dopamine, from constant notifications, infinite scrolling, always chasing the next thing, and you become anxious, restless, unable to be satisfied. Too little serotonin, from lack of sunlight, poor sleep, no routine, and you feel unstable, fragile, overwhelmed. Too little oxytocin, from isolation, digital relationships instead of physical presence, and you feel lonely, disconnected, like something essential is missing. Too little endorphins, from sedentary lifestyle, no movement, suppressed laughter, and you feel heavy, stuck, unable to experience lightness. The goal isn't to maximize all four all the time. That's impossible and exhausting. The goal is balance, flow, allowing each chemical to rise and fall naturally in response to real life. Sometimes you're excited. Sometimes you're calm. Sometimes you're connected. Sometimes you're energized. All of this is healthy. All of this is human. The problem only comes when one chemical dominates, or when one is chronically absent. So how do you create balance? By understanding what each chemical needs, and gently, without pressure, creating conditions that allow all four to flourish. You don't have to do everything perfectly. You don't have to optimize every moment. Just small things, consistent things, kind things. Morning sunlight for serotonin, a walk for endorphins, a hug for oxytocin, progress on something meaningful for dopamine. These aren't tasks. They're not obligations. They're gifts you give to your own nervous system. And your nervous system, your beautiful, ancient, wise nervous system, knows exactly what to do with these gifts. It will create the chemistry of happiness. Not all at once, not forever, but again and again, in moments scattered throughout your days. And those moments are what a happy life is made of. Not a constant state of euphoria, but a life where happiness visits regularly, where joy knows your address, where peace has a place at your table. This is what balance feels like. And it's available to you, starting tomorrow, starting with one small choice. Part 8. Why modern life feels hard. Before we drift deeper toward sleep, let's gently acknowledge something important. Modern life is hard on happiness. Not because you're doing anything wrong, but because your brain and body were designed for a different world. Let me paint you a picture of the world your body expects. Your body expects to wake with the sunrise, to feel the gradual brightening of the sky signaling a new day. Your eyes expect to see that specific spectrum of morning light, the pinks and oranges and blues, that tell your brain it's morning, time to make serotonin. Instead, you wake to an alarm clock, often while it's still dark. Then you turn on harsh artificial lights that confuse your brain about what time it actually is. Even deep breathing can trigger endorphins. Long, slow, intentional breaths signal to your body that you're safe, and safety allows endorphin release. And here's something fascinating. Endorphins are released during meditation, especially longer meditation sessions. Experienced meditators often report feelings of bliss, of floating, of euphoria. That's not mystical. That's endorphins. Your body is rewarding you for creating internal stillness. But in modern life, most people are endorphin deficient. We don't move enough. We sit for hours and hours. Our bodies never get the signal to release endorphins through physical activity. We don't laugh enough. Life feels serious, stressful, heavy. When's the last time you laughed until your stomach hurt? We don't stretch enough. We hold tension in our bodies all day long. We don't breathe deeply. We take shallow, stressed breaths, barely filling our lungs. And so our endorphin systems lie dormant and used, like a medicine cabinet full of painkillers that we never open. But they're there, waiting. Tomorrow, move your body. It doesn't have to be intense. A walk is enough. Some gentle yoga, dancing in your kitchen, anything that gets your blood flowing. Within minutes, endorphins will start to rise. You'll feel lighter, more energized, more alive. Tomorrow, find something that makes you laugh. Funny video, a comedy special, a silly conversation with a friend. Let yourself laugh fully, deeply. Don't hold back. Your body will flood with endorphins, and for those moments, everything will feel okay. Tomorrow, a stretch. Really stretch. Hold each stretch for 30 seconds. Breathe into it. Feel the release. Your endorphins will thank you. And tonight, right now, take 10 deep breaths with me. Breathe in slowly through your nose, filling your belly, expanding your chest, filling your lungs completely. Hold for a moment, then exhale slowly through your mouth, letting everything go, releasing all tension. Again, breathe in slowly, deeply, completely. Hold and exhale, long and slow, letting your body soften. Again, in through your nose, filling yourself with breath. Hold and out through your mouth, releasing. Keep breathing like this, slow and deep, in and out. Feel your body relaxing. Feel the subtle shift happening in your chemistry. Endorphins are gently rising. Your nervous system is calming. Your body is remembering what peace feels like. Continue breathing, slow and steady. As we move to the next part of our journey, your endorphins are working now, quietly healing, quietly soothing. You are safe. Part 7. The Orchestra of Emotion. Now you know all four. Dopamine, the spark of anticipation. Serotonin, the calm of safety. Oxytocin, the glow of connection. Endorphins, the lightness of release. Happiness is not one thing. It's all of these playing together like an orchestra. Imagine sitting in a concert hall. The lights dim. The conductor raises their baton. The orchestra begins to play. Sometimes the violins are loudest, creating soaring melodies that make your heart leap. That's dopamine. Sometimes the cellos provide a deep, steady foundation, a warm, grounding resonance. That's serotonin. Sometimes the flutes dance together in harmony, creating something neither could create alone. That's oxytocin. Sometimes the percussion breaks through, sudden, rhythmic, energizing. That's endorphins. A beautiful symphony needs all of these, not playing randomly, but in balance, in harmony, each instrument coming forward when needed, then stepping back to let others shine. Your emotional life is the same. Sometimes you need dopamine's energy to start something new, to chase a goal, to feel excited about possibilities. Sometimes you need serotonin's peace to simply be, to feel stable, to know you're okay. Sometimes you need oxytocin's warmth to feel held, to remember you're not alone, to trust and be trusted. Sometimes you need endorphins' euphoria to feel alive, to laugh, to move, to release. A balanced life has all four, in different measures at different times. But modern life often creates imbalance. Too much dopamine, from constant notifications, infinite scrolling, always chasing the next thing, and you become anxious, restless, unable to be satisfied. Too little serotonin, from lack of sunlight, poor sleep, no routine, and you feel unstable, fragile, overwhelmed. Too little oxytocin, from isolation, digital relationships instead of physical presence, and you feel lonely, disconnected, like something essential is missing. Too little endorphins, from sedentary lifestyle, no movement, suppressed laughter, and you feel heavy, stuck, unable to experience lightness. The goal isn't to maximize all four all the time. That's impossible and exhausting. The goal is balance, flow, allowing each chemical to rise and fall naturally in response to real life. Sometimes you're excited, sometimes you're calm, sometimes you're connected, sometimes you're energized. All of this is healthy. All of this is human. The problem only comes when one chemical dominates, or when one is chronically absent. So how do you create balance? By understanding what each chemical needs, and gently, without pressure, creating conditions that allow all four to flourish. You don't have to do everything perfectly. You don't have to optimize every moment. Just small things, consistent things, kind things. Morning sunlight for serotonin, a walk for endorphins, a hug for oxytocin, progress on something meaningful for dopamine. These aren't tasks. They're not obligations. They're gifts you give to your own nervous system. And your nervous system, your beautiful, ancient, wise nervous system, knows exactly what to do with these gifts. It will create the chemistry of happiness. Not all at once, not forever, but again and again, in moments scattered throughout your days. And those moments are what a happy life is made of. Not a constant state of euphoria, but a life where happiness visits regularly, where joy knows your address, where peace has a place at your table. This is what balance feels like. And it's available to you, starting tomorrow, starting with one small choice. Part 8. Why modern life feels hard. Before we drift deeper toward sleep, let's gently acknowledge something important. Modern life is hard on happiness. Not because you're doing anything wrong, but because your brain and body were designed for a different world. Let me paint you a picture of the world your body expects. Your body expects to wake with the sunrise, to feel the gradual brightening of the sky signaling a new day. Your eyes expect to see that specific spectrum of morning light, the pinks and oranges and blues, that tell your brain it's morning, time to make serotonin. Instead, you wake to an alarm clock, often while it's still dark. Then you turn on harsh artificial lights that confuse your brain about what time it actually is. Your body expects to move throughout the day, walking to gather food, climbing, carrying, using your muscles in varied, natural ways. Your body expects hours of gentle movement interspersed with rest. Instead, you sit for 8, 10, 12 hours at a desk, in a car, on a couch. Your body's movement systems atrophy. Your endorphins never get triggered. Your muscles forget what they were designed to do. Your body expects to see faces throughout the day. Real faces. Three-dimensional faces. The faces of people you know and trust. Your body expects eye contact, touch, physical presence. The constant confirmation that you're part of a tribe, a community, a social web that will catch you if you fall. Instead, you stare at screens. Flat, two-dimensional representations of faces, or text messages, or emails. Your oxytocin system receives no signal. As far as your biology is concerned, you're alone, isolated, without a tribe. Your body expects to eat real food, food that looks like food, fruit from trees, vegetables from the ground, meat from animals, food that takes time to chew. Food that sends clear signals to your gut about what nutrients are coming. Instead, you eat processed food. Food engineered in laboratories to trigger dopamine without delivering real nutrition. Food that confuses your gut. Food that disrupts the bacteria in your intestines that help produce serotonin. Your body expects periods of challenge followed by rest. Hunt, then rest. Gather, then rest. Build, then rest. Natural cycles of effort and recovery. Instead, you face constant low-level stress. Emails that never stop. Notifications that never end. Mental stimulation without physical release. Your stress hormones stay elevated. Your body never receives the all-clear signal. Your body expects darkness at night. Real, complete darkness. The absence of light signaling to your brain that it's time to sleep. Time for melatonin. Time for your serotonin system to reset. Instead, you have artificial lights until late at night. Blue light from screens that tell your brain it's still daytime. Your melatonin production is suppressed. Your sleep suffers. Your serotonin system can't fully restore. Your body expects to live in a community of maybe 150 people. People you know intimately. People whose faces and voices you recognize. People you can trust. People who know you. Instead, you live in a world of thousands or millions of strangers. You commute among crowds of people you'll never know. You work in organizations too large to feel like family. You scroll past more faces in an hour than your ancestors saw in a lifetime. Your body expects meaningful work. Work that directly contributes to your survival and your community's survival. Work where you can see the results. Where you know your efforts matter. Instead, many people work jobs that feel disconnected from meaning. Jobs where the purpose is unclear. Where your contribution feels invisible. Where you're a small cog in a massive, incomprehensible machine. Your body expects seasons. Variation. Natural cycles of light and dark, hot and cold, abundance and scarcity. Instead, you live in climate-controlled environments. The same temperature year-round. Artificial light whenever you want it. Food available 24/7 regardless of season. Your body's natural rhythms are disrupted. Do you see the mismatch? Your body is a 200,000-year-old organism, trying to operate in a 200-year-old environment. And the last 20 years, with smartphones and social media and constant connectivity, have accelerated the mismatch to a degree your biology simply cannot adapt to fast enough. Evolution works on timescales of thousands of generations. Culture and technology move at lightning speed, and you're caught in the middle. Your dopamine system is overstimulated by designed addiction. Your serotonin system is undernourished by lack of sunlight and routine. Your oxytocin system is starving from lack of real connection. Your endorphin system is dormant from lack of movement. And then you wonder, why am I not happy? What's wrong with me? Nothing is wrong with you. You are a beautiful, ancient system, trying to thrive in an environment it wasn't designed for. And the fact that you're struggling, the fact that happiness feels hard sometimes, this doesn't mean you're broken. It means you're human. It means you're experiencing the natural consequences of living in a world that doesn't match your biology. But here's the gentle, hopeful truth. Once you understand this, once you see the mismatch clearly, you can start making small adjustments. You can't change modern life. You can't go back to living in a hunter-gatherer tribe. But you can create small pockets of alignment. Small moments where your modern life meets your ancient body's needs. And those small moments, they're enough. They're enough to shift your chemistry. They're enough to give your happiness systems what they need. They're enough to make life feel lighter, warmer, more joyful. You don't have to do everything. You don't have to live in the woods and give up technology and become someone you're not. Just small things, gentle adjustments, tiny acts of kindness toward your own biology. And those small things, over time, they add up to something beautiful. A life that feels more aligned, more balanced, more joyful. Not because you changed everything, but because you understood what your body needs. And you started giving it those things in small doses every day. That's enough. You are enough. Part 9. Ancient Wisdom New. Here's something beautiful that might surprise you. Long before scientists understood dopamine and serotonin and oxytocin and endorphins, ancient cultures knew how to create happiness. They didn't have the words for it. They didn't have brain scanners or laboratories. They couldn't measure neurotransmitters. But they had something equally valuable, thousands of years of observation, of trial and error, of noticing what worked. And what they discovered, through pure lived experience, matches almost perfectly with what modern neuroscience is now proving. Let's travel through time together and see how different cultures, separated by vast distances and centuries, all discovered the same truths about happiness. Ancient Buddhist monks spent lifetimes exploring the mind. They sat in meditation for hours, days, years. They watched their thoughts. They noticed patterns. And they developed practices. Meditation, mindfulness, compassion, non-attachment. What were they doing from a neurochemical perspective? Meditation increases serotonin. It literally thickens the prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for emotional regulation. It reduces activity in the amygdala, your fear center. Compassion practices increase oxytocin. Both self-compassion and compassion toward others trigger the same bonding chemicals. Mindfulness reduces dopamine-driven craving. It teaches your brain to be satisfied with the present moment instead of constantly seeking the next thing. The monks didn't know the chemistry, but they knew it worked. They could feel it. They could see it in themselves and others. Indigenous cultures around the world lived in close-knit communities. They gathered in circles. They touched each other freely. They sang together. They danced together. They told stories around fires. What were they doing? Creating oxytocin through constant connection, physical presence, shared rhythm, collective experience. They lived in groups of 20 to 150 people, the exact number that human brains can maintain close relationships with. We now call this Dunbar's number. They moved their bodies daily, hunting, gathering, walking, dancing, constant endorphin production. They lived by natural light, sunrise to sunset, perfect serotonin regulation. They didn't have a word for depression, not because life was easy. It was often brutally hard, but because their lifestyle naturally produced the chemistry of well-being. Ancient Greek philosophers like the Stoics taught gratitude, purpose, virtue, and acceptance. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his journal, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love." That's a gratitude practice. And gratitude practices increase serotonin. Modern research proves this. People who write down 3 things they're grateful for each day show measurable increases in happiness hormones. The Stoics also taught purpose. Living according to your values. Contributing to something larger than yourself. And purpose, having a why for your life. This stabilizes serotonin long-term. Tells your brain, I belong here. I matter. I have a reason to be. Yogic traditions developed thousands of years ago in India. They created elaborate systems of breathwork, physical postures, and meditation. What were they doing? Pranayama or breathwork triggers endorphin release. It activates the parasympathetic nervous system, creating calm. Asanas or yoga postures combine movement and stretching, again endorphins. Meditation and chanting create altered states, serotonin and endorphins. They called it spiritual practice. Scientists call it neurochemical regulation. Both are correct. Traditional Chinese medicine talked about qi, life force energy that flows through the body. When qi is blocked, you feel unwell. When qi flows freely, you feel vibrant. We now know they were describing the nervous system, blood flow, hormonal balance. Acupuncture, which they practiced for thousands of years, actually does release endorphins. Modern studies prove this. Inserting needles at specific points triggers your body's natural painkiller system. Tai Chi, slow, flowing movement, increases serotonin and endorphins. They were managing their neurochemistry. They just used different words. Religious practices across cultures included communal gathering, singing, rituals, and service to others. Church services, temple gatherings, mosque prayers, synagogue celebrations. What are these chemically? Communal singing increases oxytocin. Everyone's breathing synchronizes. You're creating shared chemistry. Rituals create serotonin. They're predictable, repetitive. They signal safety to your brain. Service to others, helping the poor, caring for the sick, increases both oxytocin and serotonin. Your brain rewards altruism. These weren't empty rituals. They were technologies for creating well-being. Even ancient architecture reflected this wisdom. Temples and sacred spaces were often built to capture specific qualities of light, to create feelings of awe and transcendence. And awe, That feeling of being small in the presence of something vast. This triggers a cascade of positive neurochemicals. Dopamine, serotonin, endorphins, all at once. Your ancestors knew intuitively that humans need beauty, need transcendence, need to feel part of something larger. The patterns repeat across cultures. Connection, movement, rhythm, meaning, gratitude, contribution, nature, beauty, community. These aren't cultural accidents. They're universal human needs. Needs that create the chemistry of happiness. And modern research is simply rediscovering what ancient wisdom always knew. Happiness isn't a mystery. It's not random. It's not a gift given to lucky people. It's a natural result of meeting your body's ancient needs. The practices that create happiness have always been known. We just forgot them for a while. We got distracted by modern life, by technology, by the myth that happiness comes from external achievements. But now we're remembering. We're synthesizing ancient wisdom with modern science. And the message is clear. Your ancestors knew how to be happy. The practices are still here. The wisdom is still accessible. You don't have to invent new techniques. You just have to remember old ones. Sit quietly. Move your body. Connect with others. Live with purpose. Practice gratitude. Be kind. Simple things. Ancient things. Things humans have done for thousands of years. These aren't new age ideas. They're ancient wisdom validated by modern research. And they work. They've always worked. They're working right now, as you rest, as you breathe, as you listen to these words. Your body is remembering what it's always known. Sleep now, ancient soul, modern human, timeless being. You carry thousands of years of wisdom in your bones. Trust it. Part 10. What you can do tomorrow. As you drift deeper into rest, let's plant some gentle seeds for tomorrow. No pressure. No rules. No should or must. Just possibilities. Gentle invitations. Small doorways to joy. Tomorrow morning, when you first open your eyes, before you reach for your phone, take 3 deep breaths. Just 3. In through your nose, out through your mouth. This tells your nervous system, I'm safe. The day can start slowly. There's no emergency. Then, when you're ready, go to a window, or step outside if you can. Let morning sunlight touch your face, your eyes, your skin. Even just 5 minutes. Even through clouds. Even through glass if that's all you have. Your brain will begin producing serotonin within seconds. You won't feel it immediately, but it's happening. Your chemistry is shifting. While you're standing there, in that morning light, notice 3 things you can see. Really see them. A tree, a cloud, a bird, a building, anything. This isn't about gratitude yet. It's simpler. It's just noticing, being present, letting your attention rest on the actual world instead of the world in your mind. This calms your nervous system. It brings you into your senses. It interrupts the worry cycle that might otherwise dominate your morning. Then, as you start your day, move your body. Not exercise, not a workout, just movement. Stretch your arms overhead. Roll your shoulders. Bend forward and touch your toes, or your knees, or your shins, wherever you can reach. Walk around your home. Dance while you make breakfast. Do anything that reminds your body, I'm alive. I can move. I'm not stuck. Your endorphins will start to wake up. Just a little. But a little is enough. Throughout the morning, notice when you pick up your phone. Just notice. You don't have to stop. You don't have to change anything. Just notice. Am I looking for something specific? Or am I just seeking? Hoping for something interesting? Chasing that dopamine spark? This awareness alone is powerful. Because when you see the pattern, you can start to choose differently. Maybe you put the phone down a minute sooner. Maybe you decide to look at the actual world instead. Maybe you call someone instead of texting. Small choices. No judgment. Just awareness. Around midday, if you can, go outside again. Take a walk. Even just 10 minutes. Even just around the block. Walk at whatever pace feels good. Fast if you want energy. Slow if you want calm. Notice how your body feels as you move. Notice your breath. Notice the air. Notice sounds. You're giving your body multiple gifts at once. Sunlight, movement, presence, sensory input. Your entire neurochemical system responds. All four happiness chemicals can activate during a simple walk. If you pass another person, make eye contact. Smile if it feels natural. Say hello if you want. These micro-connections matter. They signal to your oxytocin system, I'm part of a human community. I'm not alone. Later in the day, maybe afternoon, maybe evening, connect with someone. Call someone. Visit someone. Hug someone. Have a real conversation. Not about tasks or logistics. About feelings. About life. About what matters. Look at them while they talk. Really look. Let them feel seen. And let yourself be seen too. Let yourself be vulnerable, even just a little. Your oxytocin will bloom. Theirs will too. You'll both feel more human after. If you can't connect in person, if you're alone, that's okay. Call someone on the phone. Voice calls create more oxytocin than texts. Or do something kind for yourself. Take a bath. Make your favorite tea. Speak gently to yourself like you would to a friend. Self-compassion triggers oxytocin too. Your brain responds to kindness, even when it comes from you. In the evening, as the day winds down, create a boundary with screens. Maybe an hour before bed. Maybe just 30 minutes. Whatever feels possible. Use that time to do something gentle. Read a book. Stretch. Journal. Sit quietly. Let your brain know the day is ending. It's safe to rest. No more input needed. Dim the lights if you can. Your brain needs darkness to produce melatonin. Darkness tells your body, sleep is coming. Serotonin can convert to melatonin now. Before you sleep, maybe while you're lying in bed, think of 3 things that went well today. Not big things, small things. The morning sunlight, the walk, the conversation, the meal, the moment of quiet, anything. This isn't fake positivity. This is training your attention to notice good things. Your brain has a negativity bias. It's designed to notice problems and threats. That kept your ancestors alive. But in modern life, this bias can trap you in a cycle of seeing only what's wrong. Gratitude practice counteracts this. It teaches your brain to notice what's right too. And noticing what's right, this increases serotonin. Not immediately, but cumulatively over weeks and months. Your baseline happiness slowly rises. Then sleep. Let your body do its repair work. Let your brain rebalance its chemistry. Let serotonin restore. Let everything settle and integrate. Sleep is not wasted time. It's when healing happens. When learning solidifies. When your emotional system recalibrates. Every good night of sleep is an investment in tomorrow's happiness. These are the seeds. Morning light. Movement. Presence. Connection. Boundaries with technology. Evening wind down. Gratitude. Sleep. You don't have to do all of them. You don't have to do any of them perfectly. Just pick one. The one that feels most possible. Most gentle. Most right for where you are right now. Do that one thing tomorrow. Just once. Notice how you feel afterward. Not immediately, but an hour later. By evening. Notice if anything shifts. Then maybe, if it felt good, you do it again the next day. And slowly, without pressure, without forcing, other habits might start to form. Not because you're trying to optimize yourself. Not because you're broken and need fixing. But because your body recognizes what it needs. And when you give it that, it responds with gratitude. With chemistry. With joy. With the natural happiness that's been waiting inside you all along. Part 11. The paradox of letting go. Here's one final secret before you sleep. One final paradox. One final truth that might set you free. The more you chase happiness, the more it slips away. Have you noticed this? The times when you were desperately trying to be happy, trying to force joy, trying to make everything perfect, those were often the times you felt worst. But the times when you weren't trying, when you were just being, living, present with whatever was happening, those were often the times when happiness snuck up on you. Why? Because desperate chasing is pure dopamine. It's future-focused. It's, I'll be happy when I get the job, when I find the relationship, when I lose the weight, when I buy the house, when. And dopamine, as we've learned, fades quickly. The when arrives, and the happiness lasts a few days, maybe a few weeks, and then you're chasing the next when. This is the hedonic treadmill. Always running, never arriving. But real happiness, lasting happiness, doesn't come from dopamine. It comes from serotonin, from oxytocin, from endorphins. It comes from feeling safe, feeling connected, feeling alive in your body. And these things can't be chased. They can only be cultivated, allowed, invited. You can't force serotonin, but you can create the conditions that allow it to flow. You can't force oxytocin, but you can open yourself to connection. You can't force endorphins, but you can move your body and let them arise. Happiness is not something you achieve. It's something you practice. Not like practicing a skill to master it, but like practicing presence, like practicing kindness, like practicing being alive. And here's the beautiful paradox. The moment you stop chasing happiness, the moment you let go of the desperate need to feel good all the time, that's often when happiness finds you. Because you've stopped running away from the present moment. You've stopped rejecting what is in favor of some imagined future. You've simply arrived, here, now, in this moment, in this body, in this life. And when you're truly present, when you're not grasping or pushing away, there's a natural ease that arises. Not ecstasy, not euphoria, just okayness. A quiet sense that right now, in this moment, you're all right. And that okayness, that simple okayness, is what happiness actually feels like most of the time. It's not fireworks. It's not constant excitement. It's not the peak of a mountain. It's the calm of a valley, the steadiness of your breath, the warmth of your own presence. It's serotonin. It's knowing you're safe. You're okay. You're enough. Modern culture has sold us a lie about happiness. It's shown us images of people laughing ecstatically, jumping for joy, living in constant bliss. And we compare our ordinary lives to these images, and we feel like we're failing. But those images are dopamine. They're highlights. They're peak moments. Real life is mostly serotonin, mostly calm, mostly okay. And there's a profound beauty in that. In the quiet morning, in the cup of tea, in the familiar rhythm of your day, in the small kindnesses, in the ordinary moments. This is where happiness actually lives. Not in the extraordinary, in the ordinary, not in the peak, in the plateau, not in the achievement, in the being. So tonight, as you rest, let go of the chase. You don't have to be happy right now. You don't have to feel joyful. You don't have to force anything. Just be here. Just breathe. Just let yourself exist without trying to be different. And notice, there's a peace in that. A relief in not having to be anything other than what you are. That relief, that's happiness too. The happiness of no longer fighting yourself. The happiness of acceptance. The happiness of rest. Part 12, Your Body is Wise. Let's take a moment to honor your body. This incredible organism that you inhabit, that you are. Your body has been keeping you alive every second of your life without you having to think about it. Right now, as you rest, your heart is beating 100,000 times today, pumping blood to every cell, delivering oxygen, removing waste. You didn't have to remember to beat your heart. It just beats. Your lungs are breathing 20,000 breaths today, pulling in oxygen, releasing carbon dioxide. You didn't have to remember to breathe. It just happens. Your immune system is working right now, identifying threats, fighting infections, healing wounds. You didn't have to tell it what to do. It just knows. Your digestive system is processing food, extracting nutrients, feeding your cells. Your nervous system is integrating sensation, touch, temperature, sound, light. Your endocrine system is balancing hormones, adjusting to stress, preparing you for action or rest as needed. All of this happening automatically, perfectly coordinated, infinitely complex, and you didn't have to learn any of it. Your body just knows. This includes your happiness chemicals. Your body knows how to make dopamine when you need motivation. It knows how to make serotonin when you're safe. It knows how to make oxytocin when you're connected. It knows how to make endorphins when you need relief. You don't have to manage this consciously. You don't have to micromanage your neurochemistry. You just have to provide the right conditions, and your body does the rest. This is the profound wisdom of your organism. It's been doing this for millions of years of evolution. Your body knows what it needs. When you feel tired, that's your body asking for rest. When you feel hungry, that's your body asking for nourishment. When you feel lonely, that's your body asking for connection. When you feel restless, that's your body asking for movement. These aren't problems to fix. They're signals to listen to. Your body is communicating with you all the time. And when you learn to listen, when you learn to trust, everything becomes simpler. You don't have to force happiness. You just have to listen to what your body needs and gently provide it. Tired? Rest. Hungry? Eat real food. Lonely? Connect. Restless? Move. Simple. Not always easy, but simple. Your body is not your enemy. It's not betraying you when you feel bad. It's trying to help you. It's sending you information. And the more you learn to listen, the more you learn to respond with kindness instead of judgment, the more harmony you'll feel. This is the deepest form of self-care. Not bubble baths and face masks, though those are nice too, but listening, trusting, responding, treating your body like a wise friend who's trying to help you, instead of a machine that's supposed to perform without complaint. Your body is alive, conscious in its own way, intelligent beyond measure, and it's on your side. So tonight, as you rest, thank your body. Thank your heart for beating, your lungs for breathing, your nervous system for feeling. Thank the dopamine for giving you motivation, the serotonin for giving you peace, the oxytocin for giving you love, the endorphins for giving you relief. Thank your body for creating the chemistry of life itself. And trust that as you sleep, it will continue its work, restoring, rebalancing, healing, preparing you for tomorrow. Your body knows what to do. You are in good hands. Your own hands. Part 13. The Science of Sleep and Happiness. Speaking of rest, let's talk about sleep for a moment. Because sleep isn't just rest. It's when your happiness chemistry restores itself. When you sleep, extraordinary things happen in your brain. Your glymphatic system activates. This is like a cleaning system for your brain. It flushes out toxins that accumulated during the day. Waste products, cellular debris. Your brain literally takes out the trash while you sleep. Your neurons are repaired. Connections are strengthened. Memories are consolidated. And crucially, your neurotransmitter systems rebalance. Your serotonin system restores. Your brain replenishes its serotonin supply. This is why, after a good night's sleep, the world looks brighter. Problems feel more manageable. Your mood is more stable. It's not magic. It's chemistry. Your serotonin levels are restored. When you don't sleep enough, when you're chronically sleep deprived, your serotonin system can't fully restore. You wake up already depleted. This is why sleep deprivation looks so much like depression. Low mood, irritability, difficulty concentrating, emotional fragility. It's not just that you're tired. Your serotonin is low. Your dopamine system also needs sleep. During deep sleep, your dopamine receptors reset. They become sensitive again. This is why, after good sleep, you feel more motivated, more able to focus, more interested in things. Your dopamine system has recalibrated. Without adequate sleep, your dopamine receptors become desensitized. You need more and more stimulation to feel anything. This is why exhausted people crave sugar, caffeine, constant stimulation. Their dopamine system is crying out for reset. Your stress hormone system also rebalances during sleep. Cortisol, your primary stress hormone, follows a daily rhythm. It should be high in the morning to wake you up and low at night to let you sleep. Good sleep maintains this rhythm. Poor sleep disrupts it. You end up with high cortisol at night, causing anxious, restless sleep, and low cortisol in the morning, causing that can't get out of bed feeling. Even your oxytocin system is affected by sleep. Sleep deprivation reduces your ability to read social cues, makes you more irritable with others, reduces your desire for connection. This is why exhausted people often withdraw socially. It's not that they don't care. Their oxytocin system is compromised. Sleep is not a luxury. It's not wasted time. It's not something to sacrifice for productivity. Sleep is the foundation of your entire neurochemical system. It's when happiness becomes possible again. And right now, as you listen to these words, as your body sinks deeper into rest, this restoration is beginning. Your brain is already starting its repair work. Even as you drift between waking and sleeping, even in these liminal moments, healing is happening. Your serotonin system is rebalancing. Your dopamine receptors are resetting. Your stress hormones are lowering. Your nervous system is shifting from sympathetic, fight or flight, to parasympathetic, rest and digest. You are healing, right now. And tomorrow, when you wake, you'll have access to a replenished supply of neurochemicals. Fresh dopamine for motivation. Restored serotonin for stability. Available oxytocin for connection. Ready endorphins for joy. This is the gift of sleep. This is why protecting your sleep is one of the most powerful things you can do for your happiness. Not because sleep itself is happiness, but because sleep creates the chemical possibility of happiness. So sleep now, dear listener. Sleep deeply. Sleep peacefully. Sleep without guilt. Your body is doing sacred work. Let it work. Part 14, the role of meaning and purpose. There's one more dimension of happiness we haven't fully explored yet. One more piece of the puzzle that ties everything together. Meaning, purpose. The sense that your life matters. That what you do makes a difference. That you're here for a reason. This isn't just philosophical. It's neurochemical. People with a strong sense of purpose have measurably different brain chemistry than people without. They have higher baseline serotonin, more stable dopamine, better stress resilience, even stronger immune systems. Purpose literally changes your biology. But what is purpose? And how do you find it? Purpose doesn't have to be grand. You don't have to cure cancer or save the world or become famous. Purpose is simply this feeling that what you do matters to someone. Maybe you're a parent. Your purpose is raising your children with love. That matters. That's purpose. Maybe you're a teacher. Your purpose is helping young minds grow. That matters. That's purpose. Maybe you're a healthcare worker. Your purpose is caring for people when they're vulnerable. That matters. That's purpose. Maybe you create art. Your purpose is adding beauty to the world. That matters. That's purpose. Maybe you're a friend. Your purpose is showing up for people you love. That matters. That's purpose. You don't have to have just one purpose. Most people have several purposes that shift throughout their life. The key is simply this, in your bones, that your existence makes a positive difference. That if you weren't here, something good wouldn't happen. Someone wouldn't be cared for. Some beauty wouldn't exist. Some kindness wouldn't be expressed. When you have this knowing, even if it's quiet, even if no one else sees it, your brain relaxes. It stops asking, why am I here? And starts knowing this is why. And that knowing stabilizes your serotonin. It gives your life a coherent narrative, a direction, a through line. Your days stop feeling random. They start feeling like chapters in a story that matters. Research on happiness consistently shows this. Purpose is one of the strongest predictors of long-term well-being. Stronger than wealth. Stronger than pleasure. Stronger than success. People with purpose are happier, healthier, and live longer. Not because purpose directly creates happy chemicals, but because purpose creates the conditions for happy chemicals to thrive. Purpose gives you reason to get out of bed, dopamine. Purpose gives you sense of place in the world, serotonin. Purpose connects you to others, oxytocin. Purpose gives you energy, endorphins. It's all connected. But here's something important, something gentle. You don't have to find your purpose. You don't have to search desperately for your calling or your mission. For most people, purpose isn't found. It's cultivated. It grows from paying attention, from noticing what matters to you, from acting on what matters, from small choices repeated over time. Maybe you notice you feel good when you help others. That's a clue. That's purpose emerging. Maybe you notice you feel alive when you create something. That's a clue. That's purpose speaking. Maybe you notice you feel fulfilled when you teach or mentor someone. That's a clue. That's purpose revealing itself. You don't need a lightning bolt moment. You don't need perfect clarity. You just need to notice what makes you feel like you're contributing. And do a little more of that. Over time, that becomes your purpose. And your brain, recognizing this pattern, stabilizes, strengthens, knows it's on the right path. If you feel lost right now, if you're not sure what your purpose is, that's okay. You don't need to figure it out tonight. Just plant this seed. Pay attention to what feels meaningful. Even small things. When do you feel like you're making a positive difference? When do you feel connected to something larger than yourself? When do you feel like your actions matter? These moments are clues. They're your purpose speaking to you. Listen to them. Follow them. Let them guide you gently toward a life that feels meaningful. Not all at once. Not perfectly. Just gradually. And as meaning grows in your life, so will your baseline happiness. Because your brain will know, I'm here for a reason. What I do matters. I belong in this world. And that knowing, that deep, quiet knowing, creates a happiness that doesn't depend on external circumstances. A happiness that comes from within, from the alignment between who you are and how you live. This is the deepest form of happiness, the most lasting, the most real, and it's available to you, starting with noticing, starting with paying attention, starting with small acts of meaning. The rest unfolds naturally. Part 15. Happiness as a practice, not a destination. We're near the end of our journey tonight, but before we complete our circle, there's one more truth to embrace. Happiness is not a destination. It's not a place you arrive and stay forever. It's a practice, a way of being, a skill you develop over time. Think of happiness like physical fitness. You don't achieve fitness once and then have it forever. You practice fitness. You move your body regularly. You rest. You eat well. You show up again and again and your body stays fit. If you stop practicing, fitness fades. Not immediately, but gradually. Happiness works the same way. You practice the conditions that create happiness. You get sunlight. You move. You connect. You sleep. You find meaning. You practice gratitude. And when you practice regularly, even imperfectly, happiness flows more easily. But if you stop practicing, if life gets overwhelming and you abandon all the things that create happiness, it fades. Not immediately, but gradually. This isn't failure. This is simply how it works. Happiness isn't permanent. It's renewable. You have to keep doing the things that create it. But here's the good news. It gets easier with practice. At first, it might feel effortful. I have to remember to get sunlight. I have to make myself exercise. I have to force myself to connect. But over time, these practices become habits. They become part of who you are. They feel natural. You don't have to force yourself to walk outside. You just do. Because it's part of your routine. You don't have to force yourself to connect with friends. You just do. Because connection is woven into your life. You don't have to force yourself to practice gratitude. You just do. Because your brain has learned to notice good things automatically. This is neuroplasticity. Your brain reshaping itself based on repeated patterns. Every time you choose presence over distraction, you strengthen presence circuits. Every time you choose connection over isolation, you strengthen connection circuits. Every time you choose movement over stillness, you strengthen motivation circuits. Your brain is always learning, always adapting, always becoming more of whatever you practice. So the question isn't, am I happy? The question is, am I practicing happiness? Am I doing the small things, regularly, that create the conditions for happiness to arise? And some days the answer will be yes. Some days the answer will be no. That's okay. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to practice happiness every single day without exception. You just have to return to the practice. Again and again. After you drift away, you come back. This is the rhythm of being human. You practice. You forget. You remember. You practice again. You feel happy. Life gets hard. Happiness fades. You practice again. Happiness returns. It's not linear. It's cyclical. Like seasons. Like breath. Like waves. And the more you accept this rhythm, the less you fight it, the easier it becomes. You stop demanding permanent happiness. You stop feeling like a failure when happiness fades. You simply notice, oh, I've drifted away from my practices. Time to return. And you return. Gently. Without judgment. You get some sunlight. You move your body. You call a friend. You sleep well. And slowly happiness returns too. Not because you forced it. Because you created the conditions for it. This is the art of living well. Not perfection. Not constant bliss. Not never struggling. Just practicing. Returning. Being gentle with yourself. Knowing what you need. Giving it to yourself when you can. And trusting that this is enough. Because it is. This is enough. You are enough. Closing. Rest now, beautiful soul. And so we come to the end of our journey tonight. But really, it's not an end. It's a beginning. Because now you know. You know that happiness isn't a mystery. It's chemistry. Beautiful, elegant, understandable chemistry. You know that you have 4 primary happiness chemicals. Dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, and endorphins. You know what each one does. What creates it. What depletes it. You know that modern life disrupts these systems, but that you can gently realign them. You know that ancient wisdom and modern science point to the same practices. Connection, movement, meaning, presence, gratitude, rest. You know that happiness isn't something you chase. It's something you cultivate, something you practice, something you return to. You know that your body is wise, that it's on your side, that it knows what it needs. You know that sleep restores your neurochemistry, that right now, as you rest, healing is happening. You know that purpose creates stable happiness, that meaning matters more than pleasure. You know that you don't have to be perfect, that happiness is a practice, not a destination, that you'll drift away and return again and again, and that's exactly right. You know all of this now, and this knowing, this understanding, it changes something. Takes the mystery out of happiness. It removes the shame. It replaces confusion with clarity. You're not broken. You're not failing. You're not missing some secret that everyone else has. You're human, with human chemistry, living in a human world, doing your human best. And now you have a map, a gentle guide, small practices you can return to whenever you need them. Tomorrow you'll try one small thing. Maybe sunlight. Maybe movement, maybe connection, maybe gratitude, just one thing, whatever feels most possible. And that one thing will shift your chemistry just a little. And a little is enough, because happiness isn't built in grand gestures. It's built in small moments, quiet choices, gentle practices repeated over time. And you have time, you have tomorrow, and the next day, and the day after that. Each day another chance to practice. To return, to choose alignment over chaos, to give your body what it needs. No pressure, no rush, no judgment, just gentle forward movement, one small choice at a time. And slowly, over weeks and months, you'll notice something. You smile more easily, laugh more freely, feel more stable, more content, more alive. Not because your life became perfect, but because your chemistry found its balance. Because you learned to listen to your body, to trust its wisdom, to give it what it needs. This is the path. This is the way. And you're already on it. Simply by listening tonight, by resting, by allowing yourself to learn, by being curious about your own inner workings. You're already practicing. And every practice matters. Every moment of attention, Every small choice. They're all seeds. And seeds grow. So rest now, dear listener. Let your body do its sacred work. Let your brain restore. Let your chemistry rebalance. Let the knowledge you gained tonight settle into your cells, into your bones, into your being. Tomorrow you'll wake with this wisdom inside you, and you'll know what to do. Not everything, not perfectly, but something, small and true and right for you. You'll step toward the sun, or move your body, or call a friend, or simply breathe deeply and notice you're alive. And that will be enough. That will be exactly enough. Because happiness isn't far away. It's not complicated. It's not reserved for special people. It's inside you, right now, waiting for you to create the conditions, to practice the practices, to be gentle with yourself, to trust your body, to listen, to return again and again. And when you do, happiness will meet you there, not as fireworks, not as ecstasy, but as a quiet companion, a warm presence, a sense of okayness that fills you from the inside. This is happiness, real happiness, the kind that lasts, and it's yours. It's always been yours. You just needed to remember how to find it. And now you do. So sleep, beautiful soul. Sleep deeply. Sleep peacefully. Sleep knowing you understand yourself better than you did before. Sleep knowing that tomorrow is full of possibility. Small doorways to joy. Gentle practices that work. Sleep knowing that you are not alone in this. That millions of humans throughout history have walked the same path. That your ancestors knew these truths. That science has validated them. That they work. Sleep knowing that you are enough. That your struggles make sense. That your happiness matters. Sleep knowing that your body is wise, your chemistry is rebuilding, and tomorrow will come with fresh possibility. The science has become a lullaby. The chemistry has become peace. And you are exactly where you need to be. Rest now. Let everything go. Let happiness find you in your dreams. And when you wake, you'll know what to do. Good night, dear soul. May your sleep be deep. May your chemistry restore. May tomorrow bring gentle joy. You are loved. You are enough. You are home.